Hi, I'm Sarah Taylor Neiman, CEO and founder of Assembly Services and Packaging. We know our products are exposed to many challenges within the distribution channel. All too often, we fall victim to frustrating outcomes like this, leading to product damage, returns, inventory shrinkage, and unhappy customers. Often, simply reconfiguring pallet patterns can solve these costly problems. Today we discuss how to recognize and reconfigure poor pallet patterns. Joining me is longtime colleague and friend, Ed Gerstner. Currently, Ed works with ASAP's clients solving various logistical challenges. Hi, Ed.
Hello, Sarah.
So, Ed, tell me about this stacking pattern.
A client used software to come up with this pallet specification. Unfortunately, their technology didn't help. It's easy to see it is not stable.
Why is that?
Each layer is oriented the same way, resulting in narrow columns of cartons. The surrounding boxes don't support the columns, and it relies on stretch wrap to hold the cartons together as an integrated unit.
So how would we go about changing that?
An easy change is rotating the layers. Here we have some interlocking cartons supporting each other. Now there are 4 wider columns instead of 8, and the wider base adds stability.
That seems easy enough. Are there any other concerns?
Another problem is the pattern doesn't fit the skid. If this pallet is strapped and wrapped, it creates a gap where the cartons aren't supported.
Why is that a problem?
The cartons that aren't touching the wrap can shift during transit since they rely on their own weight to prevent shifting. When they shift, the weight's no longer evenly distributed. The cartons can crush, causing tipping, and it eventually damages the product.
Wow, that gap sure seems to be a source of a lot of problems. How can we solve this issue?
We could specify a custom skid that fits the pattern, or modify the pattern to fill the skid.
Custom pallets can be expensive. Tell me how to modify the pattern.
For this example, we can add a row of cartons supported between the 4 wide columns. This pattern increases the product to volume ratio by holding more product, which, by the way, this ratio is critical for minimizing shipping costs.
How does this increase product stability?
By adding the extra cartons, we move them closer to the edge of the skid, eliminating that gap. Now the banding and wrap are tight to the cartons, eliminating shifting. This results in the skid, cartons, banding, and stretch wrap acting as one integrated unit.
I've heard you mention integrated unit more than once. What is so awesome about an integrated unit?
In physics class, we learned that a body remains in a state of rest or uniform motion unless an external force acts upon it.
Oh, you mean like inertia?
Exactly. The pallet moves when a forklift or trailer applies force to the skid. The top boxes don't want to move, but the motion's transferred by friction up through the boxes to the top. If this transfer's too slow, the carton becomes out of balance and fall over. When all the cartons are interlocked and secured to the skid, the friction between the cartons make the whole pallet act as a single integrated unit. When the skid is moved, all the boxes move as a single unit.
How do we make interlocking stacking patterns?
I already mentioned rotating the layers. Another method is stacking the cartons in an overlapping brick pattern. This maximizes the number of cartons interlocked with their surroundings. The weight of the top layer is spread through many of the cartons below it, maximizing the transfer of motion from the skids to the top layers. Banding and wrapping effectively maintain stability because the cartons are out to the edge of the skid.
How can our customers best plan stacking patterns for product protection?
You need to determine patterns for every carton size to maximize interlocking cartons and skid usage while minimizing labor and material costs. Some cartons allow for a simple pattern that only needs wrap for support, while others need to be more complex and use additional materials for stabilization, like banding, corner boards, and slip sheets between layers.
We covered a lot of material today. If there's one thing we could advise our clients to do, what would that be?
I'd say plan ahead. Palletizing your product can be a source of unforeseen costs. When considered early in the design process, you might have to rethink your carton design so you can maximize palletization efficiency.
Thanks, Ed. I couldn't agree more. Planning ahead is a critical component, and pallet configuration is one small consideration when creating packaging systems. Fortunately, ASAP can help. We love to team up with our clients to develop solutions for your products. Whether your need is packaging design for new products, reconfiguring your existing product packaging, or utilizing our expert packaging, assembly, and fulfillment services, Assembly Services and Packaging's comprehensive attitude toward product packaging delivers results. Contact us today.